She stands in the middle of Moonlight Café during lunch rush, and the world is moving too fast around her. Orders blur together, voices overlap, the espresso machine screams, and Telma Jackson counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She counts the cups on the counter, counts the steps from register to coffee station, counts her breaths when the noise gets too loud. She counts because counting makes sense when nothing else does, and then he walks in. Kang Jihoon, Seoul's most powerful prosecutor by day, something much darker by night. He moves through the chaos like he owns the air itself, and when his eyes land on her, something impossible happens. The noise stops. Not actually, but in her head, everything goes quiet. For the first time in her life, Telma isn't counting. She's just staring at a man who looks at her like she's the only thing in the room that makes sense. He orders black coffee. She writes his name wrong on the cup 3 times before getting it right, and when their fingers touch during the exchange, she feels it. That electricity people write about in books, that moment when the universe shifts, and, you just know nothing will ever be the same. Welcome to Afro Korea Stories by Yem Besties. Please like, share, and subscribe. Jihoon comes back the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that, always at 2:47 p.m., always black coffee, always standing exactly 3 tiles from the counter, watching her work with an intensity that should feel creepy, but doesn't. It feels like being seen, really seen. Not as the girl who messes up orders when it gets too loud, not as the girl who needs things arranged in specific ways, just as Telma. On day 7, he speaks. You count everything. It's not a question. She freezes, cup in hand, wondering if this is where he realizes she's too much, too different, too broken. Yes. The word comes out smaller than she wants. I count 2. He says it so casually, like he's commenting on the weather. His voice is deep, smooth, with an edge that suggests he's used to being obeyed. Body counts mostly. She should be horrified. She should run. Instead, she laughs. It bursts out of her unexpectedly, genuine and bright, and his entire face changes, softens, like he's been waiting his whole life to make someone laugh like that. I'm Telma. I know, you wrote your name on my cup once by mistake. Heat floods her cheeks. That's mortifying. It's perfect. He takes the coffee from her hand, fingers lingering just a moment too long. Tomorrow? Same time? She nods. Because speaking feels impossible when he's looking at her like that. Tomorrow becomes every day, becomes 3 weeks of 2:47 p.m. meetings that feel like more than they should be. He learns she needs warning before sudden sounds. She learns he carries tension in his shoulders like armor. He learns she organizes the cup lids by color because it makes her feel calm. She learns he prosecutes Seoul's most dangerous criminals and probably shouldn't be talking to a cafe worker who can barely handle rush hour, but he keeps coming. And she keeps counting down the hours until 2:47 p.m. Then everything changes. It's a Thursday. Telma's counting sugar packets, reorganizing them by the register because someone left them messy. She doesn't hear the men come in, doesn't register danger until one of them grabs her wrist hard enough to bruise. Where is he? The voice is sharp, angry, wrong. She doesn't understand, doesn't know who they mean. Her brain is screaming, overloaded, shutting down the way it does when everything is too much too fast. And then Jihoon is there. He moves like violence, like controlled fury, like something that's been caged too long and just found a reason to break free. His hand is on the man's throat before Telma can process what's happening. The other men reach for weapons. Jihoon doesn't even flinch. Try it. 2 words. Quiet. Deadly. The cafe is frozen. Even the espresso machine seems to hold its breath. And then Jihoon looks at Telma, still counting, still trying to make sense of the chaos. His expression does something she doesn't understand, something that looks almost like recognition, like he's seeing himself in her somehow, like he just found the missing piece he didn't know he was looking for. The men leave. Jihoon stays. He's still holding her wrist where the man grabbed her, thumb brushing gentle circles over the red mark forming on her skin. You're safe. I promise you're safe. She believes him. That's the problem. She believes him. That night, he takes her to his apartment because the cafe isn't safe anymore. Because apparently, Kang Jihoon isn't just Seoul's star prosecutor. He's also the son of the city's most powerful crime family, the man who brings down criminals by day to protect the empire his father built by night. And now she's in the middle of it. The apartment is massive. Clean lines, dark colors, everything perfectly organized. She should be terrified, should demand answers. Instead, she walks to his bookshelf and starts counting the spines. 47 books, all arranged by height. He's watching her from across the room. You're not scared, should I be? Probably. But she's not, because the man standing there looking at her like she's something precious and terrifying all at once is the same man who spent 3 weeks learning exactly how she needs the world to be, who never touches her without warning, who orders the same coffee every day because consistency matters to her, who just threatened to kill someone for grabbing her wrist. I don't understand you. Her voice is quiet. Good. His voice is rough. I don't understand myself anymore. Not since you. What does that mean? It means I've spent my whole life controlling everything, every case, every move, every emotion, and then you wrote my name wrong on a coffee cup and smiled at me, and suddenly I couldn't control anything, especially not this. He crosses the room, slowly, giving her time to move away if she wants. She doesn't move. What is this? This is me realizing I'd burn down Seoul for you. This is me understanding that you're not broken, Telma. You're perfect. And I've been waiting my whole life to finally understand what love actually feels like. He kisses her, soft at first, testing, learning, then deeper when she makes a sound that's half surprise, half surrender. His hand cups her face like she's made of something precious, and Telma stops counting completely, stops thinking, just feels. When they break apart, she's breathing hard. Her back is against his bookshelf. His forehead is pressed to hers. That was my first kiss. The confession slips out before she can stop it. He goes very still. You're 26. I know, people think I'm strange. I think you're perfect. And I'm going to make sure you never doubt that again. The next morning, she wakes up in his bed. He's not next to her. She slept in his shirt and he slept on the couch because he asked permission before everything and she said, "Not yet. Just hold me." So he did, all night. Now she finds him in the kitchen, making breakfast with the kind of precision that matches his apartment. Everything exact, measured, controlled, except when he looks at her, then something wild flashes in his eyes, something that makes her feel powerful instead of broken. "I called your work, told them you quit." Her stomach drops. "You can't just Telma." His voice is gentle but firm. "The men who came to the cafe work for the Beck family. My father's biggest rivals. They know you're connected to me now, which means you're not going back to that job. You're not going anywhere without protection, without me." She should argue, should fight for her independence, but the truth is she doesn't want to go back, doesn't want to leave this space where someone finally understands that her differences aren't flaws. So what do I do now? Now, you let me keep you safe. And you teach me how to love someone the way they need to be loved, not the way I think they should be loved. He moves closer. You need patterns, routine, warning before change. I can give you that. What do you need? The question catches her off guard. No one's ever asked her that. Not like this. Not like her answer actually matters. I need to know you're real, that this isn't some rescue fantasy that ends when you realize I'm too much work. He takes her hand, places it over his heart. Feel that? It's been racing since the moment you smiled at me 3 weeks ago. You're not work, Telma. You're the first thing that's ever made sense in my life. The next 3 days are strange and perfect. He doesn't leave her, cancels court appearances, ignores his father's calls, just stays in the apartment learning her, how she needs 45 minutes of silence in the morning before talking, how she organizes everything by color and pattern and size, how sudden sounds make her flinch, but if he warns her first, touches her shoulder gently, says her name, she's okay, how she counts when she's overwhelmed, and he loves all of it, every single part. On day 4, reality crashes back in. His father shows up at the apartment unannounced. Kang Jihoon, Seoul's invisible king, the man who controls half the city from the shadows. He looks at Telma like she's a problem to be solved. You've been avoiding my calls. Jihoon's voice is ice. I've been busy. With her? The distaste in his voice is barely concealed. She's autistic, Jihoon. You realize that complicates everything. I realize you're about to leave my apartment now. His father doesn't move. The Beck family knows about her. They're going to use her to get to you, to us. Then I'll destroy them first. You can't protect her and run the operation. I'm not running the operation anymore. The words hang in the air like bombs. Jihoon's father goes very still. Excuse me, you heard me. I'm done. Done prosecuting your enemies. Done cleaning up your messes. Done pretending I'm some righteous public servant when I'm just another criminal in an expensive suit. I'm out. You don't get out. Everyone gets out. You taught me that when you killed your own brother for trying to leave, so unless you want your son's blood on your hands too, you'll walk away. Accept that I'm choosing her over everything, over the family, over the empire, over you. The silence is deafening. Telma's counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to stay calm while her entire world tilts sideways. She didn't ask for this, didn't ask him to burn his life down for her. You're making a mistake. Jihoon's father finally speaks. The only mistake I made was waiting 28 years to figure out what actually matters. He puts his arm around Telma. She matters. This matters. Everything else is just noise. His father leaves. The door closes. Jihoon exhales slowly. I'm sorry. For what? For dragging you into this. For my father. For she turns to face him. Stop. Just stop. I don't need you to apologize for choosing me. I need you to promise you won't regret it. Never. He pulls her close. You're the first choice I've made in my entire life that's actually mine. Everything else was duty, expectation, fear. But you're the first thing I've ever wanted just because I wanted it. Not because it served some purpose or built some legacy. Just because you make me feel human. They stay like that for a long time. Her counting his heartbeat, him breathing in the scent of her hair, both of them pretending the world outside doesn't exist, but it does exist, and it's coming for them. The attack happens at midnight. Telma's asleep when the windows explode, glass everywhere, men in masks, Jihoon's moving before she's fully awake, pulling her off the bed, pushing her toward the panic room he showed her on day 1, just in case. Go, now. She freezes. Too much, too fast, too loud. Telma. His voice cuts through the chaos. Look at me. She does. 1, 2, 3. He's counting with her, giving her something to focus on. 4, 5, 6. His hand is on her face. 7, 8, 9. She's breathing again. Good girl. Now run. And she does. The panic room is steel and silence. Telma can hear fighting outside, gunshots, breaking furniture. Jihoon's voice, cold and lethal, promising death to anyone who touches what's his. She counts the seconds. 60, 120, 300. At 432 seconds, the door opens. It's him, blood on his knuckles, shirt torn, eyes wild, but alive. Are you hurt? She's across the room before she can think, hands on his face, checking for wounds. I'm fine. The blood isn't mine. She believes him because she has to. Because the alternative is a world where this man, who learned to count with her, who rearranged his entire life to match her patterns, doesn't exist anymore. We need to leave Seoul. His voice is urgent. My father won't protect us. The Bayek family won't stop. And I won't watch them hurt you to get to me. Where do we go? Anywhere. Everywhere. I have money they can't trace, resources they don't know about. We disappear, start over, you and me. She should be scared, should mourn the life she's losing. Instead, she feels free. Okay, that's it? Just okay? She smiles. It's small but real. Jihoon, I spent my whole life trying to fit into a world that wasn't built for me, pretending I wasn't different, making myself smaller so people would be comfortable. You're the first person who made me feel like I don't have to shrink. So yes, okay, take me anywhere, just don't let go. He kisses her then, desperate, claiming like he's memorizing the taste of her. Never. I'm never letting go. They leave that night, 1 bag each, cash, fake passports Jihoon had prepared years ago for emergencies. They fly to Busan first, then Tokyo, then Manila, constantly moving, never staying more than 3 days anywhere. And somewhere between running for their lives and learning to live in hotel rooms, they fall completely in love. In Tokyo, he teaches her to trust physical intimacy. slow, patient, asking permission for every touch. When they finally come together, she's trembling and he's whispering her name like a prayer. Afterward, she cries, not from pain, from relief, from the realization that her body isn't broken. It just needed someone who understood that love isn't one size fits all. In Manila, she teaches him to let go of control, to laugh, to exist without constantly calculating threats and exits. They dance in their hotel room at 2 a.m. to music only they can hear. He's terrible at it. She doesn't care. This is happiness. This is what normal people feel. I never want to go back. She says it while they're tangled together, sweaty and breathless. His head is on her chest. Her fingers are in his hair. Me either. But they can't run forever. The call comes 6 weeks later. Jihoon's phone. A number he doesn't recognize. He answers on speaker because they don't keep secrets anymore. She needs to hear everything. Jihoon. The voice is his father's. Don't hang up. They already did. We're done. Your woman's sister. The world stops. What about her sister? She's in Seoul. The Beck family has her. Telma's lungs forget how to work. Mira, her younger sister, the only family she has left. No, the word comes out broken. They're lying. I wish they were. His father sounds tired, almost human. They took her 2 days ago. Sent proof. Photos. They want you back in Seoul. Both of you. In exchange, she lives. The phone drops from Jihoon's hand. He's already moving, pacing, thinking, calculating. We can't go back. It's a trap. I know, but they have Mira. We'll find another way. There's no other way. Telma's voice is steady, even though she's shattering inside. You know there's no other way. We run. She dies. We hide. She dies. We try to negotiate. She dies. The only option is me. You're not trading yourself. Then what do you suggest? Because that's my sister, my baby sister, who used to sleep in my room when she had nightmares. Who learned sign language with me even though she didn't need it just so I wouldn't feel alone? Who's in danger? Because I fell in love with you? Don't do that. His voice cracks. Don't blame yourself. I'm not. She meets his eyes. I'm stating facts. And the fact is, I love you. But I love her too. And I can't let her die because I was too scared to face what's waiting in Seoul. The fight that follows is brutal, not physical, worse. It's Jihoon begging her not to go, offering alternatives that won't work, promising to burn the Beck family to ash. And it's Telma explaining over and over that she's not leaving him. She's saving her sister. There's a difference. You could die. Then I die knowing I tried. Telma. His voice breaks completely. I just found you. I can't lose you. You won't. She takes his face in her hands. You won't lose me because we're going together. We walk into whatever hell is waiting and we walk out. Together. That's the only option I'll accept. It's suicide. Maybe. Her smile is sad. But it's also love. And isn't that what you taught me? That love means choosing someone even when it's dangerous, even when it costs everything. So that's what I'm doing. I'm choosing you and Mira and whatever future we can build if we survive this. He holds her then, just holds her, while they both try not to fall apart. And when they finally pull away, something's changed. They're not running anymore. They're hunting. The plan is simple, brutal, probably doomed. They fly back to Seoul. Jihoon contacts his father, makes a deal, information on the Bayek family's operations in exchange for backup, just enough backup to get Telma's sister out. The rest, they'll handle themselves. His father agrees, not because he's suddenly caring, but because Jihoon offers something valuable. The locations of every offshore account, every dirty secret, every piece of leverage Jihoon accumulated during years of prosecuting criminals while being one himself. You're giving up everything. His father sounds almost impressed. For her? Yes, for both of them. Every single thing. The exchange happens in an abandoned warehouse. Of course it does, because criminals have no imagination. Telma counts the men as they arrive. 12 Beck soldiers, 3 cars, 1 van. Mira's inside the van. She can see her sister through the tinted window, tied to a chair, terrified but alive. Jihoon's hand finds hers, squeezes once, their signal, I love you, 1, 2, 3, she squeezes back, counting, always counting. But this time, it's not fear, it's focus. Kang Jihoon, the voice belongs to Baek Min-ho, head of the family, 60 years old with eyes like dead fish. You've caused me considerable trouble. Funny, I was gonna say the same thing. Where's my father's backup? Hidden, watching, waiting for my signal. Minho laughs. It's an ugly sound. You think this ends with your woman and her sister walking out of here? You think I'm that stupid? I think you're exactly that stupid. Jihoon's voice is casual, almost bored, because you brought 12 men to capture 2 people, which means you're either paranoid or you know something I don't. And since I know everything, that leaves paranoid. The old man's smile falters. Jihoon continues, you want to know what I learned prosecuting criminals for 7 years? The ones who talk the most have the least power. The ones who need the biggest audience are compensating for the smallest reach. So tell me, Minho, how small is your reach these days? How many of your operations did I help my father dismantle? How much of your empire is already ash? The tension is electric. Telma can feel it building, can see the moment Minho realizes he's losing control of the narrative. Enough. The old man snaps his fingers. Kill him. Bring me the women. The gunfire starts, but it's not Beck soldiers shooting, it's them shooting each other. Confusion, chaos. Jihoon's father didn't send backup. He sent infiltrators, men who'd been embedded in the Beck organization for months, waiting for exactly this moment. Jihoon moves like lightning. He has a gun from somewhere. Is shooting with precision that speaks to training Telma never asked about. She's running toward the van, toward Mira. A man steps in her way. She doesn't think, just acts. Grabs a piece of rebar from the ground and swings. It connects with his knee. He goes down. She keeps running. Mira, she's pulling at the van door. It's locked. Mira's screaming her name from inside. Then Jihoon's there, shooting the lock, yanking the door open, cutting the ropes. Mira falls into Telma's arms, sobbing. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're okay. That's all that matters. You're okay. Behind them, the warehouse is a war zone. Jihoon's father's men are winning, but barely. Minho is trying to escape. Jihoon's blocking his path. This is where it ends. Jihoon's voice is death itself. Every threat you made, every person you hurt, every night you made me choose between my conscience and my family, it all ends right here. Minho pulls a gun, shoots, misses. Jihoon doesn't miss. The body hits the ground. The warehouse goes silent. 3 hours later, they're in a safe house. Mira's asleep in the bedroom. Telma and Jihoon are on the couch. His head is in her lap. She's counting his breaths, making sure he's real. Still here, still alive. We can't stay in Seoul. His voice is quiet. I know, we can't run forever either. I know that too. So what do? He sits up, takes her hands. We disappear properly this time. New identities, new country, new life. And we take your sister with us. You'd do that? Take on the responsibility of a 22-year-old who's going to have nightmares for months? Telma, I'd take on anything for you. That's what love is. It's not just the pretty parts. It's the trauma and the healing and the rebuilding. It's choosing each other when it's hard. She kisses him, cuts off the words because she doesn't need them. She feels it in every choice he's made, every wall he's torn down, every piece of his old life he's burned to ash. When they break apart, she's crying. Happy tears this time. Where do we go? Somewhere quiet. Somewhere you can breathe. Somewhere we can just be normal. She laughs through the tears. We'll never be normal. Good. Normal's overrated anyway. 6 months later, they're in a small town in New Zealand. Jihoon teaches self-defense classes. Telma runs an online business organizing gift boxes, perfectly curated, color-coordinated, each one a tiny work of art. Mira's in therapy. Getting better? Learning to smile again. They live in a house by the ocean, everything organized exactly how Telma needs it. Routines, patterns, consistency, and love. So much love. On their wedding day, it's just the 3 of them. A judge, a beach, vows that make Telma cry, and Jihoon's voice shake. Mira's the photographer. She captures the moment Jihoon signs, I love you, because he learned. Spent 6 months studying so he could communicate in Telma's language, not just her spoken language, her heart language. The kiss is soft, perfect, everything. That night in their bedroom with moonlight streaming through windows, Telma whispers the thing she's been afraid to say, I'm pregnant. Jihoon goes completely still. Say that again. I'm pregnant. We're having a baby. His hands shake when he touches her stomach, gentle, reverent. We're having a baby. Are you scared, terrified? She admits, what if I can't do it? What if I'm not enough? What if Telma? He tilts her face up. You survived your whole life in a world that tried to break you. You survived falling in love with Seoul's most dangerous prosecutor. You survived a mafia war. You'll survive motherhood, and I'll be right there beside you, counting with you, learning with you, loving you through every single moment. Promise, promise. They fall asleep tangled together, her counting his heartbeats, him whispering promises into her hair, both of them dreaming of a future that once seemed impossible, because Telma Jackson learned something in that Seoul cafe when a dangerous man looked at her like she made sense. Love isn't about being fixed, it's about being seen, being chosen, being cherished exactly as you are, autism and all, differences and all, perfectly imperfect and completely whole. And Kang Jihoon learned that the strongest thing he'd ever do wasn't prosecuting criminals or surviving his family. It was loving someone so completely that their happiness became more important than his empire. That's the end. Their beginning.